Hey, Eddie here with Guitar Mastery Method, and right now I'm going to show you how to play this tasty country guitar solo lick. Okay, so now let's break it down piece by piece. So this is in the key of A, and it starts off with your third finger on the 7th fret of the G string, bending a whole step upwards. And then our pinky is actually going to be right there on the 8th fret of the B string. You want to almost act like it's glued to the B string so that, it stays stationary and it's always going to be there and ready for you to pick it, with your middle finger, which, by the way, this lick does use hybrid picking. So we're going to be using our pick to play the G string, and then our middle finger, that's going to be assigned to the B string. So pick on the G string, middle finger on the B string. So we bend up, then we play that B note, or that B string note, and then we play the bent note. We're going to keep it bent, and then play the B string note again. So it's like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to slightly release the bend, but just enough to where there's a noticeable change in pitch and it sounds really like a pedal steel guitar. So I'm just going. So I'm letting up just a touch on the bend, not too much. You don't want to release all the way. You want to release just enough. And then after you release and you come back up, kind of repeat the process, going back and forth between plucking the B string with your middle finger and your pick with the on the G string. So we're going to play the first part of the lick 3 times. And then when we release into the next part of the lick, we're going to release on the G string, right? And then we're going to do a quick 5th fret on the G string, 7th fret on the D string, and then we're going to hammer on from the 5th fret to the 7th fret on the G string again. And then with our ring finger, we're going to be picking the high E string on the 5th fret. So when we have our finger here when it released, and then we just played the 5th fret on the G string, now we're going to be playing the 5th fret on the high E string. So keep your finger in that territory and kind of bar it on the fretboard there so you can catch both notes. So we're going. So after hitting that 5th fret on the high E string, we're going to go back to the 5th fret on the G string and give it a little bit of a blues bend. So it's like a 1/4 step bend. You want to pull it just enough and then just choke it, mute it right there. So this is what we got with the lick so far. This next part's a lot of fun. So we start to venture into notes outside of the pentatonic scale that make it sound really interesting. Plus, we're going to be getting really chicken pickany with this part. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be using our pick and our middle finger to pick one string. So we're going to start with the 7th fret on the D string. But what we're going to do is we're going to play it with our pick. Then we're also going to play it with our middle finger. You can almost think of it like alternate picking, right? Only instead of going down, up, down, up, down, up with your pick, you're going down with the pick, and then instead of an upstroke with the pick, you're playing it with your middle finger. So you're going like, it's almost like you're alternating, but in a different way, right? You're alternating between your pick and your middle finger. And we're only going to be doing that once, basically, right? Just down, up, starting on each note. So we're going to have the 7th fret on the D string. We're going to go. And you want it to be as staccato and like mutey as possible. So if you have nails, this really helps. This is kind of where the chicken picking comes in, where it gets really percussive. So you're picking down on the 7th fret of the D string, and then, but it's a nice muted little pick, kind of. And then you're going to be using your middle finger to kind of like grab the string and then pop it like that. If you don't have nails, you can still totally do it. It won't have the same sound, but it'll still totally work. And of course, you can wait a couple weeks, grow them out a little bit, just enough to where you can grab the string so you can really get that spanky sound. So I'm just playing one note here, but I'm just doing that alternate thing, right? So we do that once on the 7th fret. Then we're going to do the 5th fret again, and then the 4th fret on the D string. So it's kind of funky. So the last part of the lick does something really similar like what we did on the D string, only it's on the A string, and it's a little bit faster. So we're going to be going from the 6th fret on the A string. We're going to do the pick middle thing. And then we're going to do the same thing on the 5th fret. But it's going to be kind of fast. It's in sort of rapid succession. So like ba-bum, right? And then we're going to land on the 3rd fret of the A string. Give it a little blues bend, but be slow with it. And then we're going to end it on the 5th fret of the low E string. So I like to really linger on that blues bend. I think it just adds a lot more spice to that particular lick, part of the lick. So here's how the whole lick goes. I'm going to play it nice and slow. And here's the lick at full speed. If you're having any difficulty playing this lick, be sure to pause the video, rewind, isolate the places that are the most challenging for you, and rewatch them as many times as it takes until you start to understand and you start to feel more comfortable playing them. Because hybrid picking is a big part of this lick, if you're new to hybrid picking, just remember what I said. You want to assign, right, the pick and your fingers to a string depending on what part of the lick you're playing. So for the first part of the lick, we had the pick assigned to the G string, then our middle finger assigned to the B string, and our ring finger assigned to the high E string. So what you want to do is almost like keep them there, like keep them at the ready to play those notes so that whenever they do come up in the lick, you know, you don't even have to like find where your finger's supposed to go. They're already going to be there. So like in the first part of the lick, notice how I'm using my pick and my middle finger because that's what I need to start playing. But then my ring finger is just kind of resting right there on the high E string. So they're all just kind of staying at the ready. So when the time comes for me to use the ring finger, it's right there and ready to go. And then when you get to the next part of the lick where you're going to be playing with your pick and middle on the same string, I like to almost pinch them like they're both just sort of pinching the D string there so that they're ready to go when I'm ready to play them. And then I just shift that up a string when I play the part on the A string. So I'm going to play the lick one more time, nice and slow, and then I'll play it up to speed. Here we go. So there you have it. There's a tasty country guitar solo lick that you can bust out at your next jam or when you're playing to a backing track at home. Either way, this is the perfect lick to add to your bag of tricks. In the description box, I've also included a link to download the tab for this lick so that you can reference it later. And if you enjoyed this lesson, be sure to smack the subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you can stay up to date on all the future lessons that we got coming at you. And in the description box, you'll find I have a gift for you, a free guitar cheat sheet that'll show you how to instantly solo in any key. So imagine taking this tasty country guitar solo lick that you just learned and applying it to every single musical key. Trust me, you're going to want to check it out. My name is Eddie with Guitar Mastery Method. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.